climate change is a growing risk to macroeconomic stability and to financial stability. But also with the same token, climate action, investment in clean technologies and in climate resilience generate green growth and green jobs. This is what the IMF is all about: stability, employment, growth. And this is why climate is now in the DNA of our institution, at the heart of our work. As we engage in policy discussions with our members, we look at how they can have more successful mitigation and adaptation strategies. As we look at financial stability, we measure climate-related financial stability risks. And we act on data because good data make good policy.
See that happen. So we have to, all of us, do this at the same time. The tragedy, I mean, it's pretty basic economics. The fact is that there is incredible job opportunity, the creation of new jobs, in the investments that need to be made in order to deal with the climate crisis. Let me give you an example. The Bureau of Labor Statistics of the United States says there are 3 jobs that will grow more than 50% over the next year. Number 1 is wind turbine technician. Number 2 is nurse practitioner, and we know why that's happening. And number 3 is solar panel installer. It's happening now. The market is already moving. It's moving away from coal, it's moving to renewables, to alternative, sustainable energy.
Once again, just stand by. I have just a short report from my colleague here, Georgieva, which speaks to this very point.
It is hugely important that we recognize dealing with the climate crisis means mitigating, bringing emissions down, but also adapting. We need to walk and chew gum at the same time. And unfortunately, you're so right. Many countries that have done very little to nothing to create this problem are suffering the consequences. This is why it is paramount for the wealthy world to deliver on the promise of $100 billion a year between now and 2030 to help the developing world accelerate the transition to low carbon, but also adapt. And for us at the IMF, what it means is that we look at in ways at which we can help these countries. And in fact, our preoccupation is with adaptation strategies. What can be done for countries to have the financial buffers so when they're hit by shock, they can act, and to have the means to invest in resilience. Future. As we move forward, we are discussing with our membership how we can make this link between the right policies, because this is where governments play the biggest role. Nobody can say. We have seen in this pandemic that we are vulnerable to shocks. And what is ahead of us is a more shock-prone world. To build resilience to these shocks, we ought to invest in people so they are healthy, educated, protected in tough times, and resilient. We have to invest in nature. So nature is resilient, and of course we have to continue to invest in the resilience of our economy. I think that the pandemic has put a earring on our ear, and it is, don't joke with nature. It also told us we are in this together. We have to work together to get to a more resilient world.